Hey, where are we going today?
We're going to Philly to do a photo shoot.
Nice.
But first, Wawa.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Carl. Welcome to another episode of WoBistDude. I've got a very special guest with me today, a visitor from the West Coast. This is my best friend, Arielle. If you don't know or haven't been keeping up with her, then let me introduce her by saying she is a jewelry entrepreneur, aerial yoga instructor, and special education champion out in Los Angeles. We're going to talk about her work in special education as well as aerial yoga. But be sure to check her out online through her jewelry business, Sparkle. I think it's important that we start with education because that's the biggest chunk, really is part of your life and part of the reason that we're here at this location. This is the old elementary school that we went to and where we met, which is pretty nuts.
In 1999.
And
19 years.
It's 2018.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah. But the funny thing about where we met and how we met is it was in a classroom that actually had a model for special education that really inspires like part of what you do. Why don't you tell me about that?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Carl. When we were in 4th grade, we were in a classroom called an inclusive classroom. At our school, that meant that we had 2 teachers in our classroom. We had a special education teacher and a general education teacher, and they worked together to serve all the students in the class. Some students in our classroom had disabilities, but you couldn't really tell who they were because everyone had the same opportunities, and I thought that was beautiful, and I still think that's beautiful, and that's why it's important for me to be here today. I feel like that experience that we had in 1999 has really shaped who I've become as I developed into as an educator in Los Angeles. The reason being I am a special education teacher, and in Los Angeles, something that I found out when I walked into my first classroom 6 years ago, that in California, the inclusive model for special education and just education in general that we experienced here at this school is not the model in most schools. In fact, oftentimes in my school district, students with disabilities were placed in segregated classes, like separate classes, where all the kids in the class all had disabilities. So the typical kids who were achieving all right were in one place. Any child with a disability was in another place, which just doesn't sit with me well at all. It's not equitable. It doesn't provide the kids in either classroom within an environment where they get to like learn about each other, an environment with diversity. It doesn't put all students with the same quality of educators. Just really sad. Yeah.
And you just don't want anybody to feel left out, right?
Absolutely. Well, something we always say is like our, world that we're preparing these children for, an inclusive world for people with all abilities. And so why would we want our students with disabilities to experience a separate setting, a separate classroom, when we don't have separate anything in the world?
As one entity.
The world is one entity, and so why are we taking kids in kindergarten and splitting them up? And why is that still happening in 2018?
Well, I think that that's all amazing. The idea of keeping everyone together and trying to build a basis for understanding in general amongst people. Because
Absolutely.
From what I know, it seems kind of like everybody that has I guess they're on a learning spectrum, and even within those spectrums is exactly the same. So it's not right to
just group everyone together and put a label on everyone as having a certain ability level when again we're all unique in our learning. So something I've been fortunate to do in my time in Los Angeles is to create inclusive classrooms where we didn't have them before, and to create classrooms that have 2 teachers who co-teach together and have all types of learners. And so there's so much left to that work. Obviously, Los Angeles and California are immense places, so the work will continue for years to come, but I'm really excited to have planted some of those seeds.
I'm really happy to know that the work that you're doing is helping people. Also, I know that you've been a student yourself as of recently. For something a little bit different, aerial yoga. This is something that's another huge part of your life, but you've gone from being a student to a teacher in that as well. I want to know if you feel like there are any parallels between teaching aerial yoga and the classroom that you spend most of your time. What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely been a unique experience to become a student and to kind of have my own things that I'm working on developing, tricks that I wanted to learn, fitness goals that I've grown to have. I found that aerial yoga has really helped me to kind of balance balance that heavy load that working in a public school can sometimes be, like the ones that I've been working with. And yeah, after 2.5 years as a student at my Arielle studio in Los Angeles, I did decide to kind of merge both worlds and put my teaching into practice up in the air, pursuing my Arielle yoga certification.
You also have some of the things you do in the classroom kind of trickling into the Arielle yoga world as well. And I don't really want to spoil the surprise about what it is, so you can explain a little bit more about how those two worlds of special education and Arielle yoga are coming together.
Yeah, since pursuing my certification in Arielle yoga teaching, I've done some research around how aerial silks can benefit individuals with disabilities as almost a therapy, especially students on the autism spectrum. So over the years, I've also become really passionate about working with individuals with autism specifically. And so this summer, while I've been on my summer break, I've had the opportunity to work with one of my school-age students who has autism in the Arielle studio and kind of merge both things and help him kind of to regulate some of his behaviors, you know, through being inverted in the silk and through learning tricks and like having access to more fitness-related activities.
That's really amazing. And I don't really know anybody else that has a work tie quite like that. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot that I want to keep learning, you know, especially for individuals with autism. The sensory integration that the silk is able to provide is something also that can be used as a calming tool. And so I'm looking forward to kind of continuing my own education and like a student of this type of work this coming year to really just solidify that more and be able to help more individuals with disabilities learn to love what I love. Yeah.
I love that so much because from my point of view, I kind of view everything you're doing as trying to become more empathetic and understanding of people. Something that I think is really lacking in this world, and we could all do a lot more for each other. Well, there you have it. Here's a little behind the scenes from the photo shoot from that day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Looking forward to catching you up on the next one. Peace.